This netcast is brought to you by Deerswood, the Excel experts, helping you get the most out of Excel. I was asked the other day, is there a way of stopping duplicate values being entered on data entry? So if you have a list like we have here in A1 to 10, is there a way of stopping a value if an additional item is entered? You can easily do that with VBA. The question is there a better way using existing Excel functionality that will highlight items, and it's always better to use standard functionality because few people like opening spreadsheets with Excel macros because you never know what they can contain. So the method I came up with here was 4 steps. One is to get the formula to work for the first 10 rows. We're going to apply conditional formatting. We're then going to use a dynamic range to get the formula to work, and then we'll apply the conditional formatting to all of column A. If we look at what's the formula we're going to use to produce a true-false condition that will allow our conditional formatting to work? Well, what I've done here is to the first thing is to check whether a particular cell, such as let's say A3, is equal to any of the cells in that particular range. And if we just highlight that expression and we press F9, we can see that A3 is the same as the position in the array of A3 and also of A10, which is what we would expect. Now the other thing that we want to do is then to of course it's going to be the same as the kind of current cell, but what we should then do is remove that effect. So what I've done here is by creating a list of where the current row is false, we can then negate that effect. So what we then end up with, Control Z to get out of that, what we then end up with is an expression which says, is there a list of duplicate values in that array that are the same as the existing cell we're testing, which in this case is A3, and we say yes, there is one, and that's the last one in the list. And then what we're going to do is do a sum product. So if we've got one duplicate, it'll be 1. If we've got 2 duplicates, it'll be 2, etc. And then we can use the if statement to say, if it's if that expression returns a number, it's going to be true. If it returns 0, it's a false. So we get a true-false expression, and we can then apply that using conditional formatting. So let's just copy that, Control C, and then actually we're going to use that here, conditional formatting, new rule, formula, and then we're going to choose, and there we go. So we've got ABC, and then we can put in, if we put in AAA there, that should perfect. That's working. Okay, so that's great for if we know what is the defined number of cells. The trouble comes is if we put in another one here, let's say MMM. Okay, that has automatically populated, but the issue is that this range here is not updated, so it's not going to give us the correct status for this particular cell. So let's just remove that rule, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change this formula. So in fact we're going to use a named range. Now I've already set up a named range, formulas named range, and what this named range is, so it's RG_input, and what this is a dynamic range. So it's using indirect, and then we get the range expression A1 to A whatever, and it's the count of the non-blank cells. So we can put in as many as many items in this list as we want. Go to Name Manager, and you see the range just keeps extending and extending. So that's a dynamic range. And so all we need to do here is change this to RG_input. And then we can kind of copy that down, and we can see that we will get the right expression. So we've got that, and that's true and false. Perfect. So we're going to copy that, and we do conditional formatting, new rule, formula, and that is going to be A1. We're going to set the formula as that. Perfect. So that's going to work. Now, if we look at that conditional formatting again and just say manage rules, you can see that's applying to the A1 to A14. But actually, if we just remove that and we just say to A, that's going to apply that to the whole of that column. And then when we ever enter any new word, ZZZ, AAA, DDD, 111, 222. So there we go. That's on data entry. It will tell us precisely it's a duplicate value. So that's the simple way to do it, although clearly using a few advanced techniques. So we'll leave it there. Find us at dearswood.co.uk, helping you get the most out of Excel.